Hello everyone and welcome back to the Adams Eats Kitchen. How are we all? Hope you're well, hope you had a good weekend. Now today's recipe, I'm going to make for you something absolutely delicious. It's savoury, it's easy to make. This is a recipe that binds a nation. And what am I talking about? It's the ubiquitous party snack. It's the idolised porcine parcel of working men and women across this great nation. It's the destroyer of that usurper known as the puff dog. It's the loyal friend giving sustenance to kings and commoners in their moment of hunger. It's the porky prince of pastries, the sausage roll. Ah, the sausage roll. Hey, come on. Right, everyone loves the sausage roll, don't they? Well, I know I certainly do. Now, all right, I'm going to lay it on the line here when I say there's some really bad sausage rolls out there. Christ. I mean, most of the ones you get from a supermarket are dry, you know, the sausage meat is really poor and, you know, not very nice to eat. And the same goes for a very popular high street bakery chain here in the UK. All right, if you've ever had their sausage rolls, they're really mushy, there's no texture at all. And for some weird reason, whenever I smell them, they just remind me of like a rotting corpse. Not that I go around sniffing rotting corpses, of course. It's just got a really off odour to them, right? Not very pleasant to eat. But there are some really cracking ones out there that you can buy kind of pre-made. Some of the really good deli counters, you know, offer some really nice sausage rolls. But I'm going to show you how to make your own because they're really simple to make. They take no time at all, no real effort, and they taste blooming marvellous as well. So of course, as per usual folks, if you hit that pause button, make a list of what you need, and the first job we need to do is make the filling. Right, so I've got my sausages here. I'm just using really good quality ones. They're 97% pork, so they're nice and meaty. And I kind of advise as well that you buy plain ones. Just standard pork sausages are fine, because if you get ones that have got lots of different flavourings in them, you know, it's just going to mask out the other stuff that you put in. So by having plain ones, you can really control the seasonings to your liking. So all I'm going to do is remove the sausage meat from the skins into a mixing bowl. You know, just squeeze out the meat, discard the skin, and then just repeat that with the rest of the sausages. Okay, so once you removed all the meat from the sausages, you should have a bowl of sausage meat like so. And the next thing we need is some spring onion. Right, okay, so I've got some spring onions here. I'm just going to use 2, I think. That'll be enough. And like I've shown you before, I'm just going to remove the outside skin because, again, it can be a bit tough, a bit soily, not very pleasant. And then all we're going to do is just finely chop them. Okay, just like so. We're going to add those to the sausage mix. And those are just going to give a nice gentle onion flavour to the finished sausage rolls. And the next thing I'm going to add is some sage. Okay, got some freshly chopped sage here. You don't want too much of it because it's a very powerful herb, all right? So if you put too much in, it's just going to completely override everything else that you put in there. So I've got about a teaspoon in there. And then I'm going to add the same again of fennel seeds, say about a teaspoon. And these are just going to give a really nice aniseed punch because pork and fennel goes really well together. Some pepper, a touch of salt, and then just a small handful of fresh white breadcrumbs. You know, probably about 3 tablespoons-ish. Now, contrary to popular belief, this isn't to bulk it out. You know, it's not designed to make it stretch further. What the breadcrumbs do is it'll soak up all the juice and fat that comes out of the sausages, and it'll keep your sausage rolls nice and moist. And now the only thing left to do is to mix the whole thing together with your hands. So get your hands in there, you know, squish everything together till it's all evenly mixed. Another little tip for you, if you want to adjust your seasoning, you know, just pinch a little bit off, fry it off in the pan, taste it, and if you think it needs a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper, maybe some more fennel, you know, just add it in. Okay, and that's the filling done, and that can sit to one side whilst we get on and roll out the pastry. Right, okay, so I've got my pastry out of its box. It comes in like a sheet like this. Now, right, you can make your own puff pastry if you want. If you've got the time to do that, then I applaud you. You know, make your own puff pastry. But let's be honest, most of us don't have the time. And shop bought stuff is really good anyway. So all I'm going to do is just lightly dust the surface of my counter. And I've got a baking sheet here, just off camera, lined with baking parchment. We're just going to unravel the pastry. There's my rolling pin. Where's my rolling pin? Whew, thought I'd lost it then. Now the beauty of these pre-made sheets is that they're pretty much how you need them. All I'm going to do is just lightly press it out, okay, till it's about the thickness of a pound coin. You know, try and keep the nice rectangle shape. And then all we're going to do is just take the sausage meat filling, put it in the middle, and just kind of squish it out, you know, till it forms a sausage shape, really. Don't have to be too neat, don't have to be too fancy with it. Leave a bit of a border at each end just so we've got enough space to tidy it up. Lift over one side just to give you an idea where you need to put the egg wash. So I need to go around about here. And then taking some of my egg wash with a pastry brush, or in this case a paintbrush. Like I said before, I get on much better with these. Just going to paint just a light coating on one side of the pastry, and then just simply roll one half over the sausage roll like so. Press it down, tuck in all the ends, and then taking a knife, we're just going to square off the ends and down the sides as well. And then taking a fork, I'm just going to crimp the edge again, because this will just help everything stick together. And then again, taking some more of your egg wash, we're just going to brush over the top, and this is just going to give it a really nice shine. And then just taking a sharp knife, I'm just going to lightly score the top, and then finishing the top with some salt. And then I'm going to sprinkle over some sesame seeds. Now at this stage, it's up to you what you do with it. Now you can either cut it into little small individual sausage rolls, or you can cook the whole thing as is and then cut it up afterwards, or cut it in half, whatever you want to do. But for me, I'm going to cook it whole and then I'm going to cut it up afterwards. So I'm just going to lift it off the surface nice and carefully onto our baking sheet, and that is now ready to go in the oven. Now that's gone into a nice hot oven which I preheated to about gas mark 5, and it's going to take about 30 to 45 minutes depending on your oven. Just check it every 15 minutes or so, make sure the pastry's not burning. If it is, just turn your oven down a touch. Now I know my oven quite well, so I know it will take about 40 minutes for that to cook. So hopefully in about 40 minutes I should have a nice puff pastry parcel of porky goodness. So I'll see you folks in a bit. We'll get it out of the oven, we'll let it cool for a bit, and then we'll have a taste. Right, okay, so the sausage roll has been cooking now for about 40 minutes, so let's get it out and have a look. Right, here it is then, the finished sausage roll. Looks absolutely delicious, nice and golden brown, it's crisp, and it's going to be cooked all the way through inside as well. Now for God's sake, don't go and cut into this and eat it straight away, because you'll blow your head off. So I'm just going to take it off the greaseproof paper and then lay it onto a wire rack. So I'm going to leave that to cool down for about 15 minutes before we cut into it and give it a taste. Right, here it is then, it's been cooling for about 15 minutes now. It's still warm but not stupidly hot. I can't wait, let's cut in, have a look. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it in half. Then you can have a look inside. Now that is sausage perfection, my friends. You can see the fennel seeds in there, you can see the spring onion and that gorgeous moist sausage meat. So I think I'm just going to cut these into individual sausage rolls. I mean, really, if you're going to make little individual ones, it's probably a better idea to just cut them before you put them in the oven. But it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go and plate these up, you know, take the thumbnail, and then we'll give them a taste. Right, so let's dig in, let's give one a try. Got a nice piece here. Now, right, if you don't get in a mess with a sausage roll, then you're not doing it right. All right, I'm going to get pastry everywhere, I know. But that's all part of the experience, right? Let's go in. Oh my God, that sausage roll is on another level. The first thing you get as soon as you bite into it is that really nice aniseed flavour from that fennel seed. It's salty, it's savoury, got that nice mild onion flavour from the spring onions, and the meat itself is so juicy, and that's because of the breadcrumbs. It's delicious, folks. Well, there we are, folks, my sausage roll recipe. I hope you'll agree, it's really, really simple. You know, they're great hot or cold, you know, for picnics, lunch boxes, you know, stick them in the fridge, they'll last a few days. And if you want to make more, you know, just scale up the recipe. And that about wraps up today's video, guys, so thanks again for tuning in and watching. If you like the recipe, then leave a like on it and stick a comment down below. And of course, stick around at the end because there'll be some links to some other videos. And if you're not a subscriber and you want to subscribe, there'll be a button for that as well. And I'll see you lovely people next time for more tasty fun and frolics. And bye for now.